Hey guys, this is D-Boy Elite coming from you from Fayetteville, Georgia. Today I just want to do a quick review, or unboxing I should say, of the Nighthawk Custom Agent 2 pistol. One of the first pistols out from the factory. Just came in, took me a couple months to get it. First and foremost, safety's first, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure that all these other weapons are clear and empty. Do both a physical and a visual inspection. That one's empty. That one's empty. Empty. And the rifle here. And we are empty. Great. So first of all, let's talk about the bag that comes here with it. I love the fact that Nighthawk Custom sends this range bag with it, because most of my other bags that come with, or I shouldn't say other bags, most of my other boxes that come with the guns, I rarely use them. I take my pistols out, I throw them into a bag, and I go to the range and shoot with it, because these bags are very well built. I think they're made by Bulldog or something like that, correct me if I'm wrong. But not only that, but there's great padding and protection inside for a high-end gun such as the Nighthawk Custom. Alright, and first of all, we're going to see what you get inside this bag. I'm ordering the Agent 2, of course. That's a beautiful patch. Okay, look at that. Now this patch here, you cannot get on their website. I mean, you've got to order one of their nice guns and they'll send it out. I mean, when I got my T3, I bought it at a gun store and I didn't get that at all. So I love that they included this. I wish they would sell it on their website, but they don't. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside for now. Next, looks like they got some Gibbs brand lubricant. It's what they recommend to use, and why not use it if the factory recommends it, right? It says it's a mega penetrant, ultra lubricant, corrosion inhibitor, and a water repellent. So yeah, I didn't get one of these with my T3, but I'm gonna start using it and see what it does there. Set that aside. What else do you get here? Of course, you get the usual, the one round fired, or couple rounds fired at the factory. You get an Allen wrench, which is great. You got some paperwork. They threw in a keychain. Look at that, 1911. Nighthawk Custom. Pretty cool. Right. Will I ever use it? Probably not, but it's great to have around the house if I want to throw my John Deere keys or something on there. You get a card there from Mickey Shields, Vice President of Sales. Right. Set that aside. All my other paperwork, what I paid for it and whatnot. Nighthawk Custom, we'll put that aside. Next, this is what I really like, okay? They have a new style bushing, barrel bushing. So it comes with, feels like an aluminum bushing. It says Agent 2 on there, look at that, really nice. It feels top quality, probably machined. And I've used it to take apart the gun after I take it to the range and stuff, and you can already see that it's already scratched. I think it doesn't feel like a Cerakote. It's probably an anodized aluminum or something, but you can see the different shape there of the barrel bushing. Okay, glad that they did include that, and we'll talk more about the barrel bushing and the finish and everything later. Put that aside. Check this out, guys. Everyone's been waiting because there's been videos out there, but not a whole lot. Okay. Let's talk about paperwork. You get your normal paperwork in here. You got your ATF paperwork. Love that they give you one of these stickers, like how custom you put on your truck, whatever. That's great. And of course, the test firing. I won't go too much in detail, but those of you who order from Nighthawk and other high-end manufacturers, such as your Dan Wesson or your Wilson Combat, your Les Baer, your Ed Browns, they all come with something similar to this, and it tells you when it was built, who built it, who test fired it, and whatnot. We'll put that aside. And as everyone knows, these guns here are much more accurate than a human would ever be. And you get an owner's manual. Of course, they don't have the Agent 2 in here. It just talks about your average 1911 that they sell there from the factory. And then they offer a discount on magazines if you want to buy magazines. Okay. And that comes with 2 magazines here. They're 8-rounders. And these 8-rounders are from Chip McCormick. I love the fact that they're giving you 2 magazines from Chip McCormick because I love Chip McCormick mags. These are the Power mags, but they're not the Power Plus mags. Okay, I wish they would have shipped them with maybe 3 to 4 Power Plus mags. It's not that huge of a price difference, but those of you who can afford a Nighthawk custom can afford to go out and buy more mags, especially the Power Plus mags. All right. Another great mag that I like to use with my 1911s by a company called Trip Research here. And I love that they're Cobra mags, and I like how they have the flared base plate there. Comes with a reinforced polymer and metal follower, very similar to the Wilson Combat one. And I've been using these for years, as well as the Chip McCormick mags. They both work exceptionally well. I mean, compared to that of the Wilson Combats. Right. Alright guys, this is what you get when an alien predator from outer space comes down, rapes the devil. You come out with the demon child like this. The new Nighthawk Custom in collaboration with Agency Arms, Agent 2. First and foremost, we are going to check to make sure she's empty. There's your visual, your physical inspection. And for those of you who are new to the 1911, the last thing that you want to do is drop the slide on an empty magazine with the 1911, because what you can actually do is knock the sear out of alignment there, and we don't want to do that. So what we want to do is slowly ride it forward. Okay, put the safety on. As you can see, this is an amazing 1911. Every square inch of this pistol has been worked on meticulously, and they sent it to Agency Arms, of course. Agency has a collaboration with Nighthawk. They came out with the Agent 2 because the Agent 1 they came out with, they only made 50, 25 of them. They got auctioned off. 25 went to gun dealers, and they were sold immediately. So they had a request for more like that, and they came out with the Agent 2. And mind you, the Agent 2 is a full size, so it's longer, has a longer barrel and everything. But I want to talk a little bit first about, let's talk about the finish of the gun, okay? They call it a Cerakote, which is their battle-worn Cerakote. However, when they shipped it to me, I noticed that even though it is a Cerakote, they call it the bottom of the mag well here. I don't know if you can see, looks like it's worn down from being put on something there. And I don't know if that was done at the factory, the guys at the gun store who had it, I don't know, but Cerakote, like any other finish, will eventually wear, okay? If you can see that clearly there. Another area where it started to wear down was when I disassembled the gun after firing it during the first range session. I put about 250 rounds through it and used the new tool that they gave you. And as you can see right here, it started to wear down on the Cerakote a little bit. So those of you who think Cerakote is going to be impervious to nicks and dings, that's so untrue, but it does hold up a lot better than some other coats that we've seen out there. I'm not going to get into that too much. I want to really talk about the gun more. But yeah, I was a little disappointed in that. It's a 1911, but it is a high-end 1911. You want to compare it to cars, then this would be your Ferrari or your Lamborghini, and your Kimbers and whatnot, or your Hondas. You know, your Hondas are going to run. Yeah, they're going to run forever. That's great. But these things here far outperform your average over-the-counter 1911. So let's start from the front of the gun, or the front of the pistol, and we can talk about that. Of course, they have a flush cut and reverse crown on the barrel. I got this in a 45. I'm not going to get into why I got in a 45 and not a 9mm. You know, if I was going to get a 1911, all my 1911s are in 45 caliber. I love the way that they flush cut that, matched it perfectly, and did a reverse crown on that. Okay. As you can see, the front of it has a fiber optic front sight, which took me a little hard to get used to because I'm used to shooting iron sights or an RMR. But once I got the hang of the front fiber optic, I was basically putting them all in the same hole. I'll do another range session and post it up for you guys to see. Another thing I do like about that front sight is that they have the vertical cuts in there to reduce glare, which is a lot of competition shooters do, I think. Okay. Moving back, Agency did a great job, great job on this DNA collector up front here. And they have their cuts inside the slide, not only to reduce weight, but it also shows off this beautiful barrel, match grade barrel from Nighthawk. Okay. The fit and finish on this slide, or slide to frame, is amazing. You know, it's hard to pull back even with the hammer back after I fire it. You know, there's a lot of force, but you have positive grip on that. You ain't going nowhere once you grab it. Okay, moving back. I love how they have the new Honey wedge sights there. You can rack it on the edge of a table, car, whatever you want. They put the DNA collectors in the back also, which is great. Beautiful hammer, beaver tail, nicely done as well. You can see how nice they flushed the beaver tail to fit the frame there. Okay. Staying on this side of the gun, I like how they do the flush cut here on the slide stop as well. Okay, you can also see where it's wearing down a little bit. And that, again, I've taken it apart once, and that's already starting to wear down. No big deal. It's a 1911. It's going to get scratched. You know, I try to run my guns as much as possible, but you will start to see wear in all the normal places. Okay, it's just because it's Agent 2 doesn't mean that it's impervious to scratches, nicks, and dings. Okay. Moving down on the gun here. Of course, you have your rail where you can mount your lights, lasers, whatever you guys want. It's great. Love how they did the faceted edges here, the bottom of the frame there. Okay. Moving down to the trigger, you can see how they beveled the sides of the trigger too. Trigger guard, I should say. And that's a nice little touch there. I like that. You know, new Agent Arms collaboration trigger with Nighthawk Customs. I like how it's, you know, it's not skeletonized like my other triggers, but they also added a little tiny bump at the bottom there. I think it's more aesthetically pleasing than anything. It doesn't really do anything for me, but I do like how it has a flat trigger. Give a real nice even trigger pull. Okay. Moving on down, the grips, of course. Rail Scales did a beautiful job of doing this. It gives positive traction. They match what Agency did here on the slide. Okay. The front strap right here, they did the same thing. I don't know if that was done at Agency or probably done down there at Nighthawk to match everything, but I like that. It's different from your normal checkering that you see on other pistols. Okay. And it is a very positive feel to it. The gun isn't going anywhere once you grab it. Next, my next favorite feature of this pistol is the undercut right here. Okay, that allows you to get a nice firm grip on that, high up on the bore axis, so you're more accurate. Okay, beautiful job on the undercut. You can see it from both sides there. Moving down to the mag well. Yeah, it's a one-piece mag well. Look what they did. They beveled every square inch of this thing. And it makes feeding the mag so nice. Okay. Beautiful job down there, guys. The back strap here. Not only did they do that, the mainspring housing, but they beveled the back of the beaver tail, just to make the contours and the lines match through. Moving on to the other side of the pistol. Their safety here is very positive. You can feel it click, and you gotta really force it down. Not too much where you're fighting it, but it just feels positive the way a safety should be on a 1911. Of course, over time that's gonna wear down and you're gonna replace your spring in there, but for a brand new gun, that's the way it should be done. I like the way how they recut not only the thumb safety, but the slide stop. It's not overbearing like your Wilson Combats, and don't get me wrong, I love Wilson Combats, the oversized ones, because I have big hands, but sometimes a little too big. But Nighthawk Custom did a beautiful job and found the median, which works. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about their new design on the magazine release. I'm still on the wall about the magazine release here, and I'll tell you why. Because even though it is positive, it's great feel to it. Once you hit it, you know it's there. Guys with big hands, big thumbs like me, it's a little bit too small, and it kind of pushes like a jab because there's a slight angle on it. It's like someone pushing a pin right into your thumb. I'm not a huge fan of that, but it might take me some time to get used to it. And plus, I'd like a little bit more real estate on there as I go to disengage the magazine or remove the magazine. And as you can see, the magazine pops right out. Beautifully done. This, my friend, is an amazing pistol. Okay. However, there are a few things that hopefully when Nighthawk Custom does decide to come out with an Agent 3, I'd like to see some improvement on this. And I'll get into that on the next part of the video. Talk about that a little bit. But right now I just want you to take a look at this beautiful, beautiful piece of art. Amazing. Okay, moving right into the next phase is a lot of people are going to ask the question, hey, is it worth $4,400 bucks, whatever it is? That's a question that only you, the gun owner, can figure out. Well, if you guys can afford one of these, then you probably got more than one of these in your collection. And you're probably running high-end rifles such as the Noveske. That's my Noveske right there. It's a 300 Blackout pistol. And just waiting for my tax stamp to get my can on that. But, yeah, if you're running, you know, if you're gonna pay $4,500 bucks for one of these, you can definitely afford all the bells and whistles that are gonna go with it, and you can afford buying another gun, so you don't have to ask yourself that kind of question. All right, is it worth it to the average shooter? Probably not, because the average shooter, you know, they're gonna be happy with the standard run-of-the-mill 1911. Something like this, to me, if I was an average shooter, I probably wouldn't need one, you know, but I'm a gun collector, and it's like collecting fine art. This is a fine piece of art. Okay. With that being said, some of the upgrades I would like to see on an Agent 3 if they were to come out with one sometime in the future. Let's talk about that. First and foremost, this gun is super accurate. However, I would like to see them do one in a bull barrel, like kind of like your Springfield TRP operator. What that's going to do is allow a little bit more weight up front, easier to manage and control for a full-size pistol, And I just love the look of a bull barrel compared to a bushing on a 1911. It just looks beefy. You're going to have more real estate around the front. You're not going to have a bushing. I think it's just, it looks business. It looks mean. So that's one thing I would like to see changed. The other thing I would like to see changed here is up front, because there's so many facets around the edges. I guess it was hard for them to go ahead and do the cut in the lines or the serrations up top to reduce the glare, but you really don't need it because you have it on the front side and you have it on the rear side. But if you can see with my Nighthawk Custom T3 at the top of it, what they've done is they've cut the grooves in there to reduce the glare, and I think that aesthetically is very beautiful to the pistol. Very, very beautiful. You know, wish they'd done that. Also to the back here, what they done was they cut the lines horizontally, and to me, that, you know, that's an extra step that the gunsmith has to take. For the price point, I wish they would have went ahead and done that. So those are my biggest gripes there on the pistol. One other thing is that if they decide to do an Agent 3, what I like them to do is put an ambidextrous safety on the pistol. A lot of times when I'm running these guns, I'm shooting steel, we're doing drills where we're, you know, changing from left to right hand. It's just, it'd be nice to have an ambidextrous safety at that price point, because I have to add them to my other 1911s, and it costs me money to do, but it'd be nice, like I said, to have it already on there on an Agent 3, because if I'm paying for, you know, $1,400, which is a fraction of the cost of a 1911. This is my SIG 226 Legion, which is my favorite pistol next to my 1911s because the trigger on it. But this thing has an ambidextrous safety. See that? Yeah. And this is $1,400. This one's $4,500. It's not a big addition. I think they can do it at the factory, but that is one main thing I'd like to see. Well, another thing I would like to see them offer potentially is a full-size frame, so you can get the magazine capacity with possibly the shorter length barrel and slide like on the Agent 1, just because it'd probably be a more feasible CCW or concealed carry weapon. You know, I do carry my T3 quite often, depending on what I'm doing. If I'm going out on a nice date with my wife or something like that, I feel a little sexy, I want to drive the nice sports car, of course I'm going to carry the T3. It makes me just feel like James Bond or something like that, you know what I mean? And with a full-size 1911, for me being 6'2", 225, 230, even though I'm a big guy, it's very difficult to conceal full-size 1911. Even though I have done it and I can't do it, it just becomes a little bit more uncomfortable. You're always subconscious about, hey, am I printing? Those kind of things. So yeah, if they can offer this in maybe that size right there, in 45, not 9mm, right? With a full-size frame, that would be great. Other than that, thanks for watching, guys. This is D-Boy Elite signing out. Hopefully I'll start a channel sometime soon and get you guys involved with a lot of the other projects and guns that I've been working on. And I've been a gun enthusiast for many years and a collector for over 20 years, and I think it's about time that I live in a gun-free state now that I can talk more about the guns that I own and I have. So this is D-Boy Elite signing off. You guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave your comments at the bottom. If you want to see more, let me know.